Hey guys, what's up? I'm Yalik, and this is today's Boom Beach video. Today we're going to spend a few minutes talking about the teleport trick. And I wanted to do this because this is something I have been working on a lot. Like a lot lately. Last night on my mini, I tried it seriously, I want to say, for the first time in an op. And it did not go well, which was very disappointing because we really needed to kill a couple of range towers on that base, shocks, rockets, and my failure to do that did not leave us in great shape. Awesome. Never fails. And again, on this device, can't turn off notifications during game. Love it. Anyway, back to the teleport trick. Now, if you don't know what I mean by the teleport trick, that is when you use Captain Everspark with a grappler. So grapplers have ridiculous long range, and if you plan it right, you can use the grappler to pull you across large sections of a base, thereby saving you GBE from flaring and smoking. And that's GBE that you can use down the line for other things or just for your hacking. So, like I said yesterday, I tried it out with the 37 level account. I think it's HQ 16, and smoked incorrectly. So we're going to go over 3 rules. I tried it again this morning, and I worked on it a bunch last night. So we're going to go over 3 rules for the teleport trick. This fella I asked for somebody to give me a friendly with. He just had to do it, Immortal. If you post a friendly, he just has to prove that he can mess up your base for you. Can't help himself. So I asked for a friendly, somebody with a grappler forward, and this guy offered me his base. So, rule number 1 for using the teleportation trick. The first thing you need to do is find yourself a safe space. And when I say safe space, I'm not talking about the political safe space nonsense, all of that. I'm talking about a place where you can drop Everspark and she won't get blasted in the face by something like a boom cannon, which will kill her instantly, put her to sleep, good night. Or a cannon will do the same. Cannons have shorter range, so that's less of an issue. So you'll notice on this first drop, my main problem is going to be the boom cannon. So, if you look right here next to this mine, the range of the boom cannon ends at the mine. The grappler extends a little bit beyond it. So, and I will say actually before I run this video, my objectives, I did a whole bunch of these, and eventually got, familiar enough that I was comfortable. I was able to achieve the goal a few times in a row, and the goal was to hack 4 towers. This one doesn't really matter, but 4 of the range towers, that was my goal here. Any 4, really, in this area, in the middle, where they all are parked. So, first time out, dropped Everspark, got her in a good spot. I thought so. Actually, it was the critters that saved me there. And the critters, unfortunately, also distracted the grappler, so it took a second for me to be grabbed. So maybe you'd want to smoke the beach. You don't have to, but then she won't necessarily stop to throw at critters, which could really, really mess up your attack. So, rule number 1, find yourself a safe space to get nabbed. Rule number 2, when you're smoking your destination grappler, you don't smoke on the grappler. This was the mistake I made last night on my mini. Smoked on the grappler, and then poor Sparky was just left sitting on the edge, just visible on the perimeter of the smoke. You don't want to do that. You want to smoke. You can smoke the grappler that you're landing to, so she'll be safe when she lands, but smoke a little ahead of it so that she gets down safely in the middle of a smoke. So that's rule number 2. And here we're selecting towers. You got to remember, you get kind of a feel for her range. It is very long. But you do want to keep her safe. And here, I think I'm going to go for the double tap and not get it. Now, something always to keep in mind with Everspark. Lasers are really bad. Blasters are really bad. Lasers are bad because... Now watch. She's just walking off. Lasers are really bad because they fire almost instantly and they will melt her. Blasters are bad because what happened here, I missed the chance to double tap because she was standing right next to the blaster and Everspark got hit by the blaster. Blasters have a glitch. When they hit Sparky, instead of hacking or doing anything else, she walks to the most recent flare. So she's just going to walk out of her smoke here. I'm trying to save it, but didn't get it. So with blasters, you have to make accommodations. For me, that is often critters. So I missed the double tap there, or the double tap. So I got 3 of the 4 towers, but not all 4. I will show you the second attack that I did on that, because here we failed to remember lesson 1. If you've forgotten what lesson 1 is, observe. I think it was this one. Oh, that one we just walked into a boom mine. That was smart. Boom mines are also bad. So that was just plain dumb. Was it 3 then? Alright, so marking what will be the 4th tower. I'm planning on resmoking for towers 1 and 2, 3 and 4 I want as a double tap. Alright, now I'm not going to go through all of these attacks. I'm not sure which one it is, but on one of the attacks I tried landing her just on the edge there. So you want to smoke the grappler, but smoke a little in front of it too, from whatever angle you're approaching. So on one of these, I think I landed over in this area, and the boom cannon just blasted me before the grappler had a chance to. Anyway, that's rule number 1. Find yourself a safe place to land where you're not going to get one-shotted by a boom cannon or a cannon or something. So here we have modified with some critters trying to keep the blaster off. But the critters are now back on the grappler, so unfortunately the blaster is still probably going to hit Sparky. Yep. And so that one we actually did get off the 2 hacks. She didn't have the chance to. But that one, oh, this one didn't end up dying. What, did that one not get? Well, whatever. Anyway, so rule number 1, find yourself a safe place to land. Rule number 2, smoke just a little bit in front of the grappler. And we'll watch the last one because the last one was successful. Rule number 3 is going to come from my op hit today, which I will show you because there came an opportunity to use this, the perfect base to try to use this trick in an op. Strange Attractors has a bunch of grapplers going around, and so I tried it, and it did not go well, but I'll explain why. So that will give us rule number 3. So, just as time is expiring, resmoke, very minimal damage done to her. I thought that was pretty. The timing varies depending on how far you are from the shoreline, so keep that in mind also. At this kind of a distance, it's safe enough to go just as the just as the first smoke is about to expire. So now, here we have figured out to throw the critters to distract the blaster while attempting to do the double tap. And here we will get the double tap off safely. Excuse me. Wow, I don't know what's happening right now. I'm probably dying. Okay, so that's rule number 1, and that's rule number 2. Now here's rule number 3. We'll go to my op hit from today. Now, mind you, I was well aware that this was not necessary at all. You don't even need to involve the grapplers here. Honestly, this base is a very, very easy solo. You'll notice lasers don't extend up beyond the core. This doesn't extend really beyond the edge of the core. So if you can walk up to about this spot at 1 and just clear, you're golden. You need to clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 towers, and you can just sit there and rock away. Nothing over here reaches, nothing over here reaches. So there is a hole, and I was well aware of this, but we're on choke point, so I didn't have to solo this. I didn't feel like we, needed that sort of an effort from me today as a team, and I just wanted to do this. So I saw this over here, and I figured I would go at this with the Ruka approach, using Sparky, obviously, and goal was to try to hack this, obviously, so I can land, and then this over here to make my life easier, and then I was just going to clear up the side. Ideally, possible solo, but more likely I just leave it as a very easy finish for one more person to hit after me. I'm happy with either one of those on choke point. So, here we go. Rule number 3. You will observe. Now, I've already warned about lasers. Lasers are bad. Marking that, not really necessary, but just cause. Now, the reason I park her over here is to be out of the range of the lasers, but well within range of the shock launcher. Also, I wanted to be... I thought this would make a difference. It turns out it does not. You'll notice that I'm closest to this grappler, and then this grappler, and this one is the furthest away. So really what I was trying to do was to end up over here, as you will see from the smokes. Found out I thought this was the perfect spot for what I was trying to do. And just wait here. Already hacked the rocket. We're good. Waiting, and then I'm going to smoke down over here. Now watch what happens. Instead of... So rule number 3 is if there are multiple grapplers in play, you have to account for the extra grapplers, because I had thought she would go down to here and then over to here and then up to here or so on. So my idea was I was going to smoke over here and stop that chain. But instead what happens is that apparently grapplers don't get priority. So it doesn't go 1 to 2 to 3. No. She got grabbed by this one and it started to pull her this way, and then this one grabbed her and started to pull her that way. But then this third one got a hold and started to yank her this direction, which is not good for me. So at this point, I'm like, oh my god. I've got that smoke over there sitting, waiting for her, and she never gets into it. Really unfortunate, and she's going to die. I tried to save it here with the smoke over there. It's too late. It's way too late. So, what needs to happen, meanwhile the rocket goes down, the rest of this hit is not really of concern to us, but... Rule number 3 is when multiple grapplers are in play, you have to account for ones down the line. If I had wanted her to land here, what I probably should have done is either distract this grappler, which a great way of doing that would have been to throw critters on this rocket. That would have distracted it all day long. Or just shock it, because in that case, this grappler would have gotten a hold of her. It does get a hold of her first because it's closest. This one, being the next closest, would have grabbed her and yanked her this way. This one, being out of commission, would not have had a chance to get a hold of her. So she would have landed where my first smoke was placed, where I intended her to go, and then I could have happily hacked this rocket and then very easily just swept right up the right side, not having to worry about really any towers until I got to that blaster. Right, did I say right side? Left side. Wow, yeah. Okay, so... that is rule number 3. When multiple grapplers are in play, you have to account for that weird system, the weird grabbing system. It's not a 1, 2, 3 priority kind of thing. They fire all at once, and they just grab her from each other and sort of pass her back like, lateraling a football or something on a broken play. I don't know what you want to call that. But, so... Rule number 3, account for extra grapplers. So in this case, if I wanted to end up over here, I probably should have killed, does this? If I wanted her to end up over here, now that wouldn't have worked. I could have gotten her over to here. So I should have just turned that off, basically, either by shocking or by critters. Critters probably would have been ideal, because then that would have distracted some of this stuff too. So, still working on it. It's a fun trick if you can get it down, but it does require a good bit of thought. And in this case, as you can see from that smoke expiring over there with Sparky not under it, yeah. So, several fails, but lessons learned, and in the future, I will find a place to put this to good use in an op. So, anyway, that is the teleporter trick. It is something to work on if you're not aware of it. Go out there and try it. Take some lessons from my failures. Hope you liked the video. Give me a thumbs up if you do. I'm Yalek. Have a good day.